Hi, my name is Aderhold. I am life sciences, and this is my BlueSky proposal. I think the main point of the issue I'm trying to address is actually communication and informing the consumer. I'm basically working with excitotoxins, which are chemicals, mainly food additives such as aspartame and MSG, and when they are consumed, these chemicals can possibly attach to transporters and be transported across the blood-brain barrier. And this really becomes an issue because when aspartame and MSG break down into phenylalanine, aspartic acid, and glutamic acid, these can stop other key amino acids from being transported into the brain because they flood the transporters. And so this can really have harmful effects on neurons in the brain. And so basically the main point of my proposal was making it more clear for the consumer what is in their products, because aspartame right now can actually be listed as 10 different things on a food label on a package. And so my big idea is basically to come up with a score 1 to 100 that would go right next to the nutritional information of a product. That would basically be a quick and easy way to inform the consumer how much of that product is artificial or contains artificial replacements of something real. So aspartame instead of sugar, or MSG instead of a salt or another natural flavor additive. So that's the main point of the proposal. I think the biggest part of solving it is identifying substances that, while the FDA may have approved them like it did aspartame and MSG, that are still contentious worldwide. So some other nations have done studies that have said maybe there needs to be a high limit on how much aspartame should be consumed daily. And so when it comes to these substances, just identifying them and then coming up basically with the formula itself to produce the score. Obviously on a 1 to 100 scale, everything is going to be relative to everything else. So the big issue is how much do we weight certain factors, like are they carcinogenic? Is there an easy substitute that could be used that is natural? And so really delving into that and coming up with exactly how the formula would be created would be the key to the proposal. And then once that is there, everything that's on that scale becomes relative to everything else. So it's really easy for the consumer to pick up two different products and compare. The physical symptoms that people have reported have been headaches, I guess kind of vertigo-like feelings every now and then, just mild symptoms like that. There have been a few studies, I forget exactly what the studies were, that found lesions in the hippocampus and hypothalamus in rats' brains after dosage over a number of years. And so a lot of these studies have basically said aspartame and MSG in small doses, will really not be that bad. It might give you a headache or two, but to be careful with large doses day after day. And so it's really a point of aspartame and MSG are continuing to be put in more and more products, and kind of by installing this system of labeling, it would kind of inform the consumer just exactly what is in there, and a lot easier than having to read through an ingredient label looking for all these different names. This is something that I started thinking of because of excitotoxins like aspartame and MSG, but it could have wide-ranging uses across all different types of, I guess, food additives. It could even be used for preservatives, as there's some types of preservatives they've found that may be more harmful than others. And so it's a way of informing the consumer very quickly any possible issues that could come from the product. I think the biggest part of my idea that related to LS1a was just the amino acids that are broken down after aspartame and MSG enter the system. They are broken down into phenylalanine, aspartic acid, glutamic acid. These are all key amino acids that we learn about throughout the semester in LS1a. And then also the way they bind to certain transporters that inhibits other amino acids binding to them. And so that's really key because it's that inhibition of other amino acids to bind and cross the blood-brain barrier that becomes really detrimental to the brain, because the brain can't get certain key amino acids it needs, and this can lead to cell death.